I'll shake your hand the day you earn the right to shake my hand.
All the damn work I put in with you.
Blue Fisto.
What can you do with this person who's new so they look good, you look good, and everybody's safe?
Might as well put him in a black leather jacket and a black hat.
Jeff Lippman.
It looked like she was too slow for school, but she came out playing the hot mean girl.
That looked really good. Wow.
Boil them, fry them, put them in a stew. Boil them, fry them, put them in a stew. Boil them, fry them, put in a stew. The potatoes of LFG Season 2, Episode 14, Semifinals.
Oh, it's Wednesday night for us. What does it mean? No, that's not how we say it. It's Wednesday nights. You know what that means. We are not watching the other wrestling program. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about LFG. And Undertaker didn't see it coming. He says it's bogus. Bubba says follow that. Sean points out that this was the LFG Screwjob and gives a point to Team Bubba and a point to Drake. And of course, we are talking about Drake Morreau switching team and going to Team Bubba after his elimination. And that's where we're at right now. Was it the technicality or charity? Undertaker is asking. What is your answer, my dear Jeff?
Wow, I think I think it's a little bit of both. Interestingly enough, I mean, this is of course episode 14 of both LFG and of our show, and the title of it is called "Down to the Wire." So we're almost down to the wire. It's a little bit of a misnomer. We're in the semifinals where there's 4 women and 4 men. There's absolutely no mention of BJ Ray this entire show. And not that we are the biggest proponents of BJ Ray and that he should advance in this, but I feel like that was like that time Samoa Joe got beat up by ninjas and nobody ever resolved who it was or why. I mean, let's address it. Say what's up. Say what he's doing, what he's not.
It was time to get him out, and they found a way. And bye, BJ.
Yeah. I mean, everyone else, when they go, we know why they've gone. I mean, sometimes there's a mystery injury for 4 or 5 weeks and somebody pops on back up. But I mean, I don't know. But that's not what you asked me. Do I think it, because it's wrestling and because they make up their own rules however they want, I guess it's a technicality. And I guess it's a little redemption story for the relationship of Drake and Bubba, because Bubba chose BJ over him last year, I believe.
He actually chose Drake, and Drake said no. He said, do you want to do this again?
But last year he picked...
Oh, last year, okay.
Yeah, he picked someone over Drake, and Drake said, you didn't believe in me last year, so I think this year, respectfully, I think I'm gonna go with the big...
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you mean in the finals-ish thing.
But it is a little bit of charity, because it was week 13, and that's a little bit of a crap. I mean... You know, and clearly they were planning this the whole time, because all the silence about BJ and the whole work at the end of the show last week, and which was, you know, sort of well done. We documented that last week where we had some issues, or I had some issues with it. But I think it's a little bit of both. But you know what? It is, this Final Four is better with Drake in it than BJ. And at the end of the day, it's a TV show. And at the end of the day, that's really all I care about.
It would have been great with Elijah, but with him being out, Drake, of course, better choice. Even Bubba says, like, you know what? He's a good dude. He's a Bayou boy. I want to bring it out of him. So, yeah, great choice. And I really loved, I can't remember who said it. Pro wrestling is more than a contact sport. There is a psychological element to it. I don't remember if it's just like the commentator, whoever's voicing the show, who mentions that, or if it's one of the coaches. I didn't write it down, but I was like, yep, absolutely. I mean, it has to look like a fight, but everything is supposed to mean something. There has to be a reason for it. And when we are so close at, you know, the end of all of this road for the contestants, like, we gotta be a little bit more nitpicky about what's wrong and what's good. And we're gonna see a few things that, you know, I was like, I would have chose differently, but I mean, overall, it was a good episode. They had something a little bit different. Maybe they did it last last year, but they have like first a promo battle to see like, we want to know why, show the people why they should want to see this match. And that's how they would begin everything. Every match.
No, I just remembered something in looking at my notes, and this is I just don't want to skip over it, is that the original reference to charity, when Undertaker said it, I didn't take it in the context that it was said that it was about Drake. I thought it was more a comment on giving Team Bubba a point because they were all by themselves at the bottom, and everyone shifted it on to Drake, including Drake, which I get. I mean, you need to do anything to motivate. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but when I heard it, I thought it was more Undertaker ribbing Team Bubba than saying Drake didn't deserve it, because frankly, I don't think Undertaker gives a rat's ass whether it's BJ or Drake. And if you asked him, 10 times, I'm sure at least 9 out of 10 times he'd say I'd rather see Drake in there.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like 1 point to Drake, but why 1 point to Team Bubba? Because he pulled this out of his ass. I don't know. It was like I don't know. So you would be closer to the other coaches. It was like, why? I'm like,
what? It's a perfect embodiment or metaphor for America today. We have rules, but a lot of them are based on the honor code. And if you just sort of make something up and do it and nobody stops you, it works and it pays off. That's what happened for Team Bubba, who got 1 point. He's still tied. What is him and Booker tied with 4 each? It's not like either of them are likely to catch Michelle or Taker anyway. And it doesn't matter. We're down to 2 people after this show is over, I suppose. But again, I thought it was more about a shot of Bubba than was it Drake. But whatever. If Drake used that to feed off, and as Bubba, who pointed out that, he's giving himself credit for bringing the fun out of Drake, and Deadman brought out the killer out of him. And now Bubba's going to meld them both in this half hour that they spent together reunited. But listen, just like Shamalar said the second time around. So, hey.
Anyway, so we start with, a pretty big match, and Anthony Luke versus Shiloh Hill. They first do the face-to-face promo. I thought it was intense, few words, 2 different personalities, but it did work. It looked like a wrestling promo. It wasn't too, I felt it was all right. Like, I didn't get like super excited to see the match, but I was like, okay, that's interesting. Like, yeah.
It's interesting that was your reaction, because basically the Undertaker told them, he said, in your promo battle, your mission is to convince the people why they want to see this match. And you're like okay, when I listened to it, neither one of these guys said anything that they haven't said half a dozen times before. Anthony Luke sort of, like, Shiloh started okay. Anthony Luke sort of dominated at that point, and it wasn't clear what was going on in Shiloh's head, and there was a long silence. I'm like, but then Shiloh like just did a scream out of nowhere into Luke's face, and I'm like, okay, he never lost it. This was his plan all along, and that was pretty good. But okay, so anybody who has kids of us, that you are a certain age when you had your kids, you had this thing called baby Einstein.
I know where you're going.
No, I don't think you do. Well, hopefully, if you do, this is a miracle. You had these things called baby Einstein, where kids listen to classical music, but there were also like puppet shows and like kid friendly things going on. And there was one where they like one for a hand puppet, and it was a goat, and all of a sudden out of nowhere the goat would go blah. And the first time it would scare the shit out of my poor little kids. But then, then they giggle with it. But it's like, did baby Einstein just traumatize my child? But the blah, that's what that took me back to. So maybe I was the one that was traumatized. But I would say the promo battle didn't get me hyped for the match, but I was already hyped for the match, and I call the promo battle was a push. I think they both did fine, but neither one of them did anything new and interesting except for the scream.
Yeah, and I mean, you're talking about a goat. Then when I see Shiloh, I'm thinking about a sheep. I'm thinking about Bray Wyatt. So I guess it all adds up in a way.
All fits together, right?
So
we're all going on the same river of time.
Oh yeah, same Animal Farm.
Exactly, animal. That's why. Let's go Orwellian here.
So, Luke comes out, and of course, Michelle's like super encouraging. She's cheering. And, she mentioned he has every tool. And no, actually, I think it's Taker. He says to her, this guy has every tool in the toolbox to win, which I absolutely agree. And when when Shiloh comes out, Undertaker puts his shades on. The future is so bright. I got to put the shades on. I was like, oh, look at Taker being a little funny guy. I was like, okay. So it's a good dynamic of them two. It's entertaining, So Shiloh comes out.
Wonder.
Yeah. Yeah, Toothless Wonder comes out intense with crazy eyes. Luke, I love that as soon as he gets in the ring, like he's showing character, and the bell rings, like he keeps his character. Everything was big. You know how last week we were saying about Chris Island that everything was small?
Yes.
Everything was like, this time everything is big, everything is solid. I've also noticed that Luke places himself for the next spot automatically. This is something when you learn wrestling that doesn't come easy, and it's not something that comes naturally. But the more experience you have, the better you get at it. So you minimize steps and whips and placing yourself. You just go to the next spot by yourself. So your opponent just has to go into whatever comes next. And Luke, as he already has that. So I was like, man, that's a lot of points for Luke just for this. Anyway, for me. Then they went outside and they did those whip reverse spots, what I like was awesome, including Shiloh going kind of flippy, as like in and out, like swinging around James Brown style, like in the ring, going out, and to a lariat to the outside. And they mentioned toothless aggression, and I was like, wasn't it like Chris Benoit was next or something like that, or a t-shirt maybe. But this spot was like super, super cool, very baby face, like impressive for a big guy that he didn't get stuck in the ropes. I love that Luke was, he was looking at the crowd. He had good expression, intense strikes, solid pins, the great punches. And they went into a big double down on a spinning power slam, and a good 1-2 that went into a very solid like comeback. Anthony was doing the bump and feed, like taking a bun and up for the next, and that was perfect. Cheated and tried, which was really like kind of neat that they went back to it. They went to the same spot they did in their first match where he cheated, scratching the eyes, and he from then he hit the lights, camera, action, and had won the match. But this time, Shiloh was able to escape into what they call the Stormbreaker. Right. And I don't know if you agree, but usually I would always say this move doesn't look good. But Luke made it look fucking fantastic. Whoever's taking it, has a lot to do with it. And this time his finish looked like a finish. At the end, Shiloh was selling his eyes from the scratching. Overall, it was a very, very good match. The timing, everything seemed pretty awesome. It was definitely a TV match.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought this match was great. And everyone thought. I mean, they would jump. The Undertaker was actually jumping from joy and hugging and showing.
Oh yeah, he was super happy.
He was emotional, saying this could have been on any one of our shows. Yeah. And he's 100% right. Mm-hmm. And your point was so right on that Anthony creates space. He's already in the right position. I'm not saying Shiloh wouldn't get there, but he doesn't automatically do that. Anthony does that step and a half and the footwork to get to the next position. And you're right. So he's definitely leading the matches. Shout out to my, cyber friend Shazza McKenzie. I'm not gonna say that we have like lunch together or anything, but as far as like, people that you've met on the internet and spoken to a couple times over Zoom, cyber friend. But she this week posted just, out of complete coincidence, she said, attention wrestlers, after somebody does an arm drag, take a couple steps to create space. Thank you, every other wrestler. She was being, obviously she was wrestling with a rookie or someone who doesn't know what's going. But that's exactly what you were saying. He creates that space and goes, but not just random space. It's to be in the right place. You can see where his feet are. You can see what his head's looking at, and things like that. I think that the name Stormbreaker. I mean, when you have Toothless Wonder and Toothless Aggression, and your thing is a gap, you don't need Stormbreaker. There's like a million geographic places that have the word gap in it that are scary. Like you could just do the stopgap. But I'm sure that there's like canyons and gorges where cowboys and Indians ambushed each other that have the word gap in it.
He's a guy. He's a taker guy. So instead of Hell's Gate, it could be Hell's Gap.
Isn't exactly Hell's Gap? Isn't he also from New Mexico? I know he went to Stanford, but I think he's from New
Truth
Mexico.
and consequences.
There's canyons and mountains out there, so there's gaps.
Canyon.
I mean, I know there's ski mountains, so they call gaps where you're not supposed to ski. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But both guys showed us moves they hadn't showed before, and while they definitely made everything look big, actually one of the things that impressed me the most is that Anthony Luke introduced almost like a short arm Superman punch that he did twice. And it looked really, really good. I did like how they went back to the raking of the eyes, but this time Shiloh was prepared for it. I mean, he still got hit with it, but he was ready to react for it. And he hit the Stormbreaker, which was just like a fancy cutter neck breaker thing, but that's fine. It's perfect. It not significantly different than Lexus King's, sort of finisher and what Andrade was doing when Andrade wrestled. And I liked it. I thought this was a great win. And the excitement from the Undertaker, I don't think he's faking it. I mean, this show is sort of humanizing him, and it's really humanizing his relationship with Michelle. It's funny because I think Bubba said to Michelle, when Luke and Shiloh were staring down at each other, he goes, do you and Taker ever look at each other like that? And she's like, not ever once.
No. Oh boy. So we come to, who is it gonna be? Taker chooses Shiloh, his own guy. Michelle chooses Luke, her own guy. Booker says Shiloh, and Bubba goes, he thought it was 50-50. But, for the overall consistency, he chooses Shiloh. And here's the thing. I went back on my notes and I try to, go back the whole season. When it comes to consistency, Anthony Luke is the guy. It's not Shiloh. Shiloh had days that he was not as good. Anthony Luke, never. So I was like,
I agree with you. And I sort of thought that it should have been Anthony Luke for at least a 2-2. I mean, I understand the coaches voting for their own people. This was very close. Not to take away from either of these guys. And listen, I am not someone who walks around thinking that DEI is a bad word or a bad phrase, in every circumstance. I sort of, but I was left thinking, if Anthony Luke wins, and all of the top people, or almost all of the top people, especially the younger ones in NXT and Evolve, are black. And I'm thinking that maybe they just think maybe we need to get one white guy in there that's not 36 years old, Ethan Page. I don't know
if you know the show Pro Wrestling Bits, Alfred. Great fucking stuff.
Yeah, I just don't know if that played a role.
African XT. So I was like, yeah.
Yeah. But listen, Anthony Luke, he's not going to be on season 3. He's going to be. He needs to be on Evolve. He's probably on Evolve.
He's NXT, or send him to TNA if you don't want to. Since he's not winning the contract, send him to TNA. But he's ready for TV. He's ready for TV.
He's already signed a contract. I just don't know if they're going to sign him to Evolve or NXT, or like you said, send him to Noah, TNA, or AAA. But I think Evolve is usually first, even if it's for a short period of time. But I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy guy, but wrestling is a bit of a conspiracy. I mean, it's a work. It's actually a plan to work, so it's not a conspiracy. So you can. So I'm wondering if that played a little.
It's often about what they need now and why. So maybe Shiloh might be the character they need now for the White Six. I don't know, like example, but on the way out.
And not to take
Anthony,
anything away, we're both Shiloh fans, but as far as body of work and the more polished, the guy who's ready to be on TV today. I mean, I think you could put Shiloh on TV today also, but you absolutely could put Anthony Luke on TV today.
Well, yeah, like I said, the going to your next spot automatically as you're selling is something that takes time, and Anthony Luke already has it. So to me, that was like 10 points just for him. And actually, here's more points for him when he goes out. He says, thought this competition was about finding the best wrestler. Clearly it's not. Call me when you need it. So Taker goes like, you got over on the way out. And Michelle goes, that's my boy.
That's right. And if there was any hole in Anthony, counter conspiracy, for those of you who don't like the racial element of things, and listen, I understand there was a bit of a conspiracy, and all conspiracies are a little far-fetched, but counter conspiracy is that maybe Anthony thought he was the favorite the whole time, and maybe it was a little bit of humble pie was being distributed out as well. Anyway,
he was gracious on his way out, though. Like, I mean, he
in the back? Yeah. When these guys were talking and hugging and everything, clearly they're on the same page. They're both professionals. They know when to work and to stop working. They clearly have a lot of respect for each other. No, it was all love and roses back there.
And roses. Violets are blue. And P. Nasty was fighting Zena Sterling.
Yes.
So P. Nasty's like, I'm the front runner. And Zena, well, nothing. Besides, I can beat you. I was like,
wow. In this promo battle, this was a domination. I mean, Zena looked like she was frozen. She
killed her, and she, brought her back to life to kill her again.
Seriously.
And bring her back to life and kill her again and again.
I mean, seriously, P. Nasty, they just traded and marked PJ Vasa for her. So my guess is that PJ are her actual initials, whether it's her first and middle name or first and last name. I don't know. But the Vasa, after saying this, I'm thinking it was like Vaseline and the way Ice Cube used it in the song. Because she shoved something so far up Zena's ass, and Zena was feeling it the rest of the night. Zena lost the promo battle, and she never got anything back.
Nope. And when it comes to the match, I wouldn't say it was similar to the promo, but
it wasn't dissimilar. It wasn't
as bad. No, let's be seriously. Yeah. So, match starts, solid forearms from P. Nasty. Zena is like, I've been telling all season she can't hit. And then Bubba like really got mad. What the fuck you doing? I was like, yep, there it is again. There was a, solid lockup and struggle.
But first.
Yeah, she did.
Took a step forward, and Zena took a step backward. I mean,
but I mean, anyway, once she got into the lockup and the struggle, it looked good. There was a takedown and some ground and pound, and Zena, like, she worked too fast. Panina was super intense. She had sound. Some episodes I was like, nothing was coming out of her mouth, blah, blah, blah. Not this time. She kept screaming. She was alive. Zena had good selling, but for some reason I felt like she seemed so lost. Like she even bumped by herself on a headbutt. She was like, P. Nasty was not even close. She just went backwards to kind of swing forward, and she took a bump as her head was like all the way back. I was like, what the fuck? And even like the coaches were like, they
called it the ghost spot.
Oh yeah, the ghost bump. I love the freaking name. And P. Nasty had a nice like a drop headbutt, like head shrinker kind of style. I thought that was nice that she brought that into the match.
Well, what was my favorite part? What was my favorite part from Bubba? I'll give you a hint. when he yelled at her. He goes, Zena, stop gripping your shoulder. Stop.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
Because we were so ahead of the curve with that. I mean, we picked it up weeks before Bubba started, started with that.
And P Nasty goes for a splash, she missed, and Zena went like close, like they were so close to the ropes, like they were not even in the middle of the ring. That didn't look super good. She tried to go over, on the whip, and you go in the corner and you go over, but she almost fell to the outside. Mm-hmm. She hit a shitty crossbody from the third rope. Like they were like, what was that? Like they gave it a name. I can't remember, like I don't even know what they said.
They called it a baby splash.
A baby splash? Yeah, it was like...
And you know how I've always been comparing Zena to like a Glow wrestler, but from the Netflix show Glow?
Yeah. Like an actress trying to do stunts, like, yeah.
Right. The last episode of season 1 Glow, Allison Brie finally hit a splash from the top turnbuckle on the Perry Dalpin character, Perry Dalpin, my God, chef's kiss. But this was exactly that splash. It was so unimpactful. It was so unimpressive. And it took her so long to set up the coach. She's like, what is she doing? What's taking so long? And then the baby splash was the result. I am sorry.
All this for this.
Exactly.
Anyway, speaking of taking so long, I felt the match was long, not exciting, disappointing.
Yeah.
And P Nasty goes like, hey, Zena was nervous. I don't know. She didn't look nervous to me. She looked like lost and like she didn't know why she was there, or I don't know. It was like, you know what? I'm starting to think that either there was too much pressure, too much too soon, right from the start, or you know what? She's slowly realizing, you know what? That might not be for her.
Well, for someone who dresses like a Disney, someone who dresses like a Disney princess, I think she was feeling a little bit frozen. And then when she remembered what to do, she was back to her season
Zena
1, episode 4.
Let it go. You gotta let it go.
She might have to let it go. I mean, I don't know, but she needs to find her confidence, her comfort zone where she's not freaking out. She
needs to be trained by someone else than Bubba, who's smitten by her. It doesn't work. You're not telling her everything she's doing wrong. So, no, everything is good. Everything's good. Well, look, that's what it looks like.
Well, Zena, we know a good trainer,
and they're not.
In Mount Royale, are you in Montreal? We know a trainer in Mount Royale who is available. Zena, rates very reasonable. So
I need a ring. No, but I mean, my God, I'm trying to think.
Listen, if you're training Zena, Bubba will send you a ring. It's his meal ticket.
I'll take it.
I'm making this deal for Bubba right now. I speak for him because he's blocked me on only one Twitter account, which means we're friends. So no, I mean, if this is his meal ticket, he will have a ring shipped to you. You hear that, Bubba? I know you listen.
Yeah, but I mean, just
go
in Texas, train with Jazz. Train with Jazz in Texas, or I don't know. There's
trying to make business for you. No, and Bubba, not that janky one that AEW used in like Brisbane, Australia, wherever backwater they went to.
Oh, sweet Lord. Anyway, Zena says, I'll be something someday, which, you know what? I hope for her.
Maybe.
But yeah, she needs to figure things out and train with someone else.
Miss, cue the Marshall Tucker band someday, some way. Maybe she'll understand.
What's that Barbara Streisand song? Someday, somewhere. Zena. All right. So.
I think you need my father, not me.
No. Come on.
For the Streisand references.
But she keeps going that way. The Streisand song she's going to be singing is Memory.
I mean, the Streisand, I know Memories, and I know the disco song that they did from that boxing.
Oh, the main event thing.
The main event, right? That's about all the Barbara Streisand I know offhand.
But anyway, after a doozy of a match, we get to. I'm mean now, but it was. It was what it was. Now it's the Spitfires. It's Dani Sekelsky's and Serena Lyndon, which to me was the best promo. Everything seemed real. Nothing seemed scripted. They went back and forth and everything was intense. And I believe what they were saying.
I believed what Dani was saying. It
Yeah,
very much sounded
mostly Dani. Yeah.
To me, it felt like Serena was play acting, even with wearing the do-rag on her head. I just thought the whole thing was, I thought it was play acting. She didn't sound, I mean, I thought it was sort of community theater. Like I've seen worse acting in wrestling, but not much. Dani felt real. I don't think, did we mention that Panina won 4-0? All judges voted for her, but
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
if we didn't,
it
it was a straight flush, so no surprise there.
Oh yeah, Bubba says like everybody that wrestles Zena is better, and I was like, dude, just fucking let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go, because right now, like, are you looking at the same thing we are? Because I've seen the same. I don't know if the word defect would be, but the hits, the grabbing the arm, it's things we've seen for weeks.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, get it, like, remove your fucking pink glasses. It's not reality.
Yeah, I almost forgot. I actually forgot that Bubba voted for his girl. Fine. The coach votes. He knew that it was going to be 3-1, so he had her back. Good, terrific. I guess that's.
Yeah, but he's.
She did not earn
He's
it.
lying to her.
He is lying.
He's lying. Like Booker says, like, you know what? P Nasty delivers what the people want, and yeah, she looks like a badass. They want people who can fucking kick ass. She delivers that. So, back to the Spitfires and
the Spitfires.
The Spitfires, and yeah, I felt, same as you. I mean, Serena was not as good as Dani, but I always consider the amount of time they've been there and trying to see where they were at from where they are now. And I mean, overall, she's got so much better. That was like, okay, she has. And it was not the worst promo I've seen. I mean, Dani was so much more intense, indeed, but I wouldn't say it's a bad promo. When I think bad promo, I think about Lola Vice crying on NXT. Oh, thank God they're not having her do that anymore. And whatever she's doing now works, and it's great. In her and fucking Yeska and Mr. Iguana are doing great fucking
I practiced the same conversation with Drew Yari when we did the NXT review on the No Mercy on the Drew Yari experience on the Wrestling Soup Network. A little crossover plug there, but yeah, no, I agree 100%. And one of the nice things about Serena is that she doesn't fall back upon that, and so no. As far as most improved, Serena's definitely in that competition, but tonight was not most improved. Tonight was 1-1, and Dani, as far as promos are concerned, I would say that was, nobody. It wasn't a knockout. P Nasty knocked out Zena, but it was in boxing. 10-8 is a pretty dominant. So that was a 10-8 score.
Yeah. What did they call it? Like winning by
TKO.
No, a technical knockout. Yeah. From the judges. Yeah. So the match, like, intense lockup. There were some good corner strikes from Serena. Dani missing the drop kick. There was like a butt drop and then an attack on it. With Serena slowing down the pace. I love that she was working like a stronghold and keep Dani down. That would, because that gets the crowd, clappings for the babyface to get up. So Dani was always fighting back. The whip, kind of like there was a weird headbutt kind of thing that happened in the corner that ended with a hair bump and a splash on the knees. That was like, this whole part was like confused, but not confusing, but it didn't look too good to me. The back and forth for me was too fast and sloppy. If they were slowing down and just taking their time, one shot at a time, it would have looked so much better. It was just too fast, so it ended up a little bit sloppy. Serena, good heel work. Her Bronco in the corner there was so smooth. It's like, she's like almost like gently sitting on her. I don't know if she was afraid to squash Dani because she's smaller, but it was like, that was the softest Bronco Buster I've ever seen. I love the comeback the comeback, like, it was a slowish bump and feed. I felt like Serena was getting up a little bit too slow. But I love the part where they go, Serena tries to, put her feet on the ropes and referee catches it. Dani tries to pull tight, referee sees it. So it's a little tit for tat. And even Bubba goes like, oh, I like that. The 450, Serena's 450 looks awesome. She rolls into a Hell's Gate. There was a back and forth story of them kind of be equal, but they worked way too fast. It wasn't a bad match. It's just that if they would have slowed down a little bit, put more character into it. Serena was heel, definitely, but Dani, she didn't have any major babyface attributes. She was aggressive, but not likable, if that makes any sense. So it didn't scream babyface to me. And, it would have been nice that she added a little bit more for me to want to cheer for her where she's down. And I don't know, a smile, a yay between moves, something that makes me care. And because I like the fact that she's intense, she's aggressive, but it doesn't make me like her as a person. And babyface, something you should do. So good match, but slower would have been better because less sloppy.
Yeah, there was one point where Serena did a move that the coaches called it a skid mark because she sort of missed and hit wrong. And I laughed like a 15-year-old boy, because I am a 15-year-old boy, about that. The Bronco Buster, as you pointed out, was terrible, and the coaches pointed that as well. The end was very abrupt for me. After Serena hits a really nice 450, there should be some sequence or some recovery period before Dani should have the strength to be able to put a Hell's Gate. Basically, she basically got out of the 450 and basically put on a basic armbar and convert it into a Hell's Gate, which was a nice sequence. It's like she should have rolled out of the ring or avoided or did something, dude. Kick Serena in the knee, buy a little time, get her a separation.
Duck a line, and Serena goes for a power bomb, reverses into Hurricanrana, and from the Hurricanrana, grab an arm bar or something, just a little something where, you think that she's going to have her, but no, and then reverses, and then she's really trapped, and then she taps.
She's got that pretty good missile forearm. She could do that. She's little, so she launches us up a couple times and then does it. Whatever. There was just, maybe they were close to the time, but at this stage,
But even then, that's a great idea what you mentioned. Let's say Serena misses the 450, goes into a roll, comes with a line, trying to catch Dani, from the 450 she missed. Dani ducks underneath, comes with that missile, elbow, boom. And as Serena takes a bump, sells up, Dani just jumps, boom, right away into the Hell's Gate, just from that one thing. Duck, elbow, boop, one. It would have been something. Then just going into the finish, right there. Yeah.
But, we get to the judges, and Booker basically makes it the most improved award, votes for Serena, but sorry, the other three vote for Dani. I also would have voted for Dani.
She, Michelle says she's the more consistent, which is absolutely right. Taker also said he feels she's in a better position to win this whole thing, which he's right. And, Bubba said, when I was watching the match, the person who caught my eye was Dani. So, all good points. And Serena says she's grateful and blessed. And,
and she
is. And everything, she's been better and better every episode. She says, I'm undeniable, I'm going to make it. And you know what? I believe her, because every show there was an improvement. She's always moving forward and not backwards. And Dani says, you know what? Last year I was saying I was going to win, but I didn't believe it. Now I do. And I found me, which I feel she's a lot more confident when she talks. I believe I believe she believes she can, go all the way.
I definitely believe that Dani has a future in this business. I think her size, maybe leads to durability issues. Who knows? And I have no idea. Alexa Bliss has been doing this for a long time. as well as other people. Serena, maybe. I mean, there's not a lot of people in this competition that I would bet against, but I don't have the same faith in Serena as I do in like Hayes Jamison, who I think just took this thing by storm. And, you know, I sort of feel about her. So it's different, but the same as Chris Island. I think that Chris Island actually has more physical tools than Serena, but Serena, I think her mental outlook is better. It's like if they could switch heads, I think you'd have like...
She's got the character. She's got the attitude.
Yeah. Though I think putting his head in her body would have given you Zena today, you know, or you know, this episode. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but I think we all agree that Dani deserved to move forward, and in fact, she is moving forward, which brings us to two guys who apparently don't like each other and have heat. I don't remember them having any particular... I mean, Harlem, you know, manufactures heat with everybody. So yeah, I do remember him having heat with Anthony Luke. I do remember him having heat with Chris Island. I don't remember it with Shiloh. Not Shiloh, I'm sorry. With Drake. Did I just forget about it or miss it or I don't know.
No, I don't remember them. Well, here's the thing with Harlem, as you mentioned, I feel like he hates everybody, so it is what it is. When it comes to that promo, I felt there was one tone. Like they didn't really want, they make me want to see this match. I felt for one of the rare times, like it lacked intensity. And, you know, from Harlem, I expect intensity. And to me, it was shit talk to shit talk. It was like, whatever.
That's
Like,
funny.
blah, 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 blah,
I actually
blah.
liked it. I mean, I did find intensity. I mean, you know, Harlem Base is like, bro, I don't like you. You don't deserve to be here. You're a charity case. You failed 3 times now, and you got your butt saved in some technicality. And then I'm like, Drake's just looking at him. I thought Drake is dead, and then Drake is like, I might have gotten here by a technicality, but I'm gonna earn everything, and I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna plant you under 6 feet under with my chokes. So actually, Drake recovered pretty well. So for me, I was like, I thought it was fine. I don't think that there were a lot of layers to it, but yeah. So, but I thought it was a perfectly good promo, and actually I was expecting to call this a Harlem knockout, but I thought Drake came back pretty well, and maybe it was a tie, or maybe Harlem 10-9, but I thought it was fine, and I actually was looking forward to the match. Of course, I would have been looking forward to this match anyway. So
Yeah, it's just that it's probably me. No, it's from Harlem. Like, I don't know why I was expecting him. Like, rah, rah, rah. I don't know what I was expecting, but maybe, yeah, I
rip
would
the
have
guy's
liked
mustache
this.
off.
Yeah, you know, I was expecting him to be
Tear that stupid
more
crescent tattoo off the corner of his eye.
all those answers. Yeah, I don't know. I was expecting maybe something else, but again, not the worst promos I've seen in wrestling. It was just, it didn't have layers to me. Yeah, but I mean,
Well, it's about time we start disagreeing on things at week 14.
you're not wrong. It's just that I felt like not that he should have screamed the promo, but I felt like different tones in it. Like, I don't like you, and I'm gonna like go up and down and like levels to it where he sounds menacing and then he sounds aggressive. And that's maybe how I see Harlem Lewis, where he's very quiet. You know how Jake Roberts would do a promo like really soft, but now he was like kind of serious, and then he would get like menacing, like he was going to kill you. That's how I envision Harlem. So maybe that's why it's like, okay, like
I don't know. This just started so much like P Nasty and Zena, but instead of holding like Zena,
like didn't die right there.
and Drake actually came back and gave about as good as he got. So maybe my standards were. In any event, this did feel a little bit like, you know, 2 sophomores on college football teams, you know, talking about getting into a fight. But I don't know. I'm okay with that. You know, I'm not that.
It was okay. It was okay. And So lock up into a solid armbar. Drake fights back, retaliates with an arm work of his own. Harlem pulls hair, back and forth, the shots. I felt like in this one, you know how the match before they were going kind of back and forth, or even more, maybe Zena and Pinassi, they were trying the back and forth thing. And the match before too with Dani, where they were rushing it. I felt in this one like pacing was right. There was a sense of urgency of trying to get the best out of the opponent, but they would take enough time so everything meant something. So big difference between going too fast and having a sense of urgency. And I think that's exactly what they were doing there, which was great. Solid punches by Drake. He has good fire. I really loved his big splash that he did. And after right back to the arm, the back and forth boots also were pretty cool. Missed the corner, the schoolboy in the corner on the buckle. I love this move. I was using it myself to go for a cannonball after it. I think it looks devastating. And with Drake being so tall, the way he kind of folds in the corner, it looks like it's nasty. So great stuff to use on him. Harlem was stumping him and choking with a boot, the neck breaker on the apron to the floor and to get into the heat, to stop the taller guy from being in control and work a little bit of heel heat there was great. And I love that they worked from the ground up to, get the crowd going. Harlem missed an elbow and we went into a hope spot for Drake, then into a comeback, and finally in this match, solid bumping feet, taking a bump, getting back up right away, boom, boom, boom. The big boot, like the crowd really woke up. Choke slam, duck into that beautiful discus lariat that he does, and I love that it was mentioned shades of Kerry Von Erich, and a very high choke slam. A great showing from both. I think it's Bubba who says, Drake right now has the perfect mix of entertaining and serious. So I was like, yeah, this guy really grew on me too throughout the season. The first match I was like, eh. And then the more each match I was like, yep, this guy's good. I want to see more. So yeah, this match was really good.
I agree. Drake, I mean, if there was a most improved, Drake is definitely the most improved male. But unlike my feeling about Serena, who she's the most improved, but she's not in the top tier, I think Drake got himself most improved and into the top tier. That doesn't mean he should win necessarily, but this match was very physical. Harlem was much more physical until he wasn't, until Drake was just as physical, max's physicality. Also, there was some point where Harlem, it was a spot where Harlem was supposed to throw a clothesline. Drake was going to duck it. He was going to miss it. And Harlem just threw the weakest clothesline. And that hurt a lot for me. But for two guys who say they don't like each other, hey, maybe it's part of the work, but we're acting like they don't like each other in real life, or at least one of them doesn't. They work pretty darn well together, pretty snug and clearly. So, I think they had really good chemistry. Harlem, for a guy who's like, ruh, 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 he's clearly okay with being booked to lose and from the choke slam. I can't figure out exactly who Drake reminds me of, because that discus lariat was like Kerry Von Erich. The big boot and the choke slam is, I mean, it's more Kevin Nash than Undertaker, but he's faster. It's almost like JBL if JBL had Kevin Nash's moveset. It's
wow, I have a blank fucking.
But I don't remember JBL ever using kicks like
discus?
that. No, not a discus, but his clothesline was close. I don't know.
My God, he wrestled in Japan. Wow, what a brain fart. Cowboy. Goddamn.
Stan Hansen.
Yes, Stan Hansen. Thank you.
It could be. Maybe it is Stan Hansen.
Japan style. Like the big boots and the running and big guy moving fast.
Yeah, just with the choke slam. It's like, I just feel like, I just don't feel like it's a tall, sort of thick guy. I feel like it's a tall, let's call him lanky.
Slender-ish.
Yeah, I mean, tall proportion as opposed to these guys that were like, built like, kegs, basically, all these,
A young Big Show?
maybe a young Big Show.
Like WCW Big Show at 21 years old?
Yeah, because he's got speed to him as well. Yeah, yeah, he's got offensive lineman feet. I mean, he's got that athleticism. Anyway, this was a very good match. I don't know if it was as good as Luke Hill, but it wasn't far behind.
Yeah, different story in the match that worked as well. Both guys look good, and I mean, both guys look good to the point where Taker chose Drake. Michelle chose Harlem because she says he's credible, which is right.
Yeah.
Booker says Harlem. He said he made the other guy look good, which I don't agree, because once Drake is in babyface mode and goes for his comeback, that's all him. His punches are fucking clean. His shots are great. I mean, that's his own work. That's not the other guy. So, I mean, come on, Booker, fuck it. And Bubba goes Drake. He's the entertainer and killer at the same time. He can do both. And this is absolutely true. So, we have a tie. And then, speaking of Booker.
Indeed. So, Booker is becoming their in-house Jonathan Coachman maven. He's just making shit up and saying things, I understand backing your team, but the whole thing, I mean, he was
Drake,
basically
how
talking
much
about
Harlem helped you at the, be at the right place at the right time? I was like,
right. He's trying to, he's like how Bubba talks about Zena, and that wasn't his, but he's like pointing, he's like yelling at Drake to say, admit that how much did Harlem help you? And he's like, what are you talking about? We work together in wrestling.
We both understand the assignment. And it was like, yeah,
and which
pretty
was
much.
Perfectly good answer. And then Undertaker asks Harlem the same question, and you expect him to be like, I'm with Team Book. Yeah, and instead he goes, with respect, that's for you guys to call. I think I'm going to remain silent.
I won't answer that. And Taker goes, that's the good answer, as you should.
That's right. And that impressed me so much because I had never really seen Harlem keep his head like that, except when he went to Booker privately and said, I have trouble keeping my head, so let's talk this out. So I guess I did, but in the moment, in the moment actually being...
He's really smart. Like, he knows, he probably knows that, Booker is wrong. And he set up the match with Drake. He knows that both, came up with ideas and they made it work together. Like, Hill had good heat. Hill had good, aggressiveness, and Babyface had a great comeback, great fire. They worked. Yeah, both understood the assignment and whatever they had to do.
Do you think he understood enough chess to know, okay, I got to stay on the good side of my coach, but at this point, all of the judges matter the same for my fate going forward, and I don't need to play into this foolishness.
Yeah, that too. That's why I said he's really smart. So, and even Taker said it, like, that was the right answer.
Yeah. If Taker says it's the right answer, 97 out of 100 times it's the right answer, and those other 3 times he's probably not going to be entirely wrong about wrestling, for sure. So this is interesting because we're told that Sean is going to decide who gets the point, and apparently we're going to get another match between these guys to work that out. So next week we're going to get, I guess they decide a 3-match format is the way to go in it. So, probably a little bit of manufactured drama, but that's okay. And I won't mind seeing these 2 guys go again. And I won't mind seeing something different out of Harlem. I don't know what I want to see, but I want to see something more than just a ground game. I want to see like a flying clothesline, like a doomsday device with, without the chicken fight aspect of it. I want to see something. I want to see him do a drop kick. Just,
or you know what? We keep saying, reminds us of, old school Chris Benoit. flying headbutt, something that, Benoit was always on the ground, using suplexes and, hard back elbows or whatever. But he would go up and use that, flying headbutt, something that, that was different in his arsenal. That would be great. Like something like that. Doesn't need to be the headbutt, but
pull a thing of Nux or a little chain out from his trunks and cheat something. I want to see a little bit something more out of Harlem. Otherwise, I hate to say it, I would have to go. I don't hate to say it. I would probably go with Drake. I mean, I did say early on in the year, I don't think Harlem Lewis is going to win this competition, but I think he's the favorite for winning season 3. But he's already in Noah with Charlie Dempsey, so clearly he's not going to be on LFG season 3. He's on to bigger and better things. Good for him. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm looking forward to next week, and obviously we're going to get it's just 2 matches. It's going to be a 2-match. Oh no, 3 matches. We're going to the finals of who the guys are going to be. So whoever Shiloh has to face. And whoever that is, that's gonna be a great match. I mean,
and Dani nasty, yeah. And from what I saw with the coming next week, Harlem versus Drake 2 is gonna be in front of the crowd. If I'm right,
I think they're all gonna be in front of the crowd.
In front of the yeah, makes sense. But the guys, they will have to wrestle twice.
And they'll be one of them will, and they'll be in Houston, which is Booker's hometown. So he's either going to get excited for the right or wrong reason.
Taker's hometown, right? Taker's around too.
Is he Houston? I thought Taker was more Dallas.
Austin? No, he's not Dallas anymore. Pretty sure he's not.
I don't know, but I know that Booker. He's going to get very excited, and it's either going to be spectacularly the right reasons or spectacularly the wrong reasons. And either way, I'm here for it.
Well, he's going to cheer for his guy, that's for sure. But who do you want to see? Do you want to see Shiloh versus Drake or Harlem? Because you remember what Taker said was it last week or the week before? What
do you say?
2 guys who should be in the finals are Drake and Shiloh, and that could happen.
Yeah, that sounds like a little before, but to be honest, I think I'd rather see Harlem versus Shiloh. It seems like they're very similar, except Shiloh has the moves that I wish Harlem would adopt a few more of them. Mm-hmm. Harlem's about 35 pounds too light for just his moveset. Like, he wrestles more like Dino Bravo, but he's not as big as Dino Bravo. I mean, that's not a really great example.
Needs a little bit of Eddie Guerrero in there.
Yeah, he's not Nikita Koloff size, so he can't wrestle exactly that Nikita Koloff or a Road Warrior Animal. He needs a little bit of Hawk, in him, just a little. And Shiloh is more. He's more well rounded. So he can get off his feet some, and he can move around, and he can fly out of the ring, and just enough. He's not Keith Lee out there, but he can do just enough. So yeah, but either way, I think we win. I do think that Drake is more polished than Harlem. So I think that the finalists actually would be a better match. But I gotta miss. I like a brawler fight, and so that's what I want to see. But whatever, we'll see who earns it. Maybe it'll be made clear next week. If it's so even next week, I'll anguish. But if it's not even, I'm gonna, I'm pretty objective about who I think does better.
Yeah. So Taker goes, it's the beginning of the road or the end, depending on how you see it. So yeah, we're gonna know who will be the LFG champions or winners.
Who do you want to say? You ask me. Fair's fair.
I don't know if I think I want to see more, because I feel right now they need bigger guys, baby face, who can go. So that's why I'm pulling more for Drake and Shiloh. But to me, Drake has been more polished than Shiloh. Shiloh had bad days. Drake just went better and better and better. And I think he found himself finally. And I think they need a character like this at NXT.
I think so. I mean, he has what Josh Briggs doesn't have. He has a persona that people can get behind, and Drake can be face very easily, but he can also be a heel very easily as well. And since he's from New Orleans, maybe he can bring in a little bit of voodoo hoodoo into it and bring him back a little bit of Pac Bashang. Okay, Jeff, that's enough. No, I've
If
gone
they
too
ever
far.
go back to New Orleans for WrestleMania, they might have a logo star.
Yeah.
So for the girls, it's really hard though, because they're so different. Like, do you want like a little Spitfire aggressive, or you want a beast that it can actually go? Because right now it's like there's bigger girls who can go, like Lash Legend, and I mean, I can't say Nia Jax because she's hurt someone else this week, so like that is what it is. But I feel they need more of those. They need stronger heels and that can like throw people around and that are menacing and they're actually a threat to the baby faces. So Dani, there's dime a dozens. I would rather see Ace Jameson. If I have to pick a smaller person, I'd rather have that little annoying heel who's fucking entertaining and bumps like shit, but it doesn't matter because she's drunk, so it's part of the stick. So yeah, it's just
I like Dani quite a bit, but I think that P Nasty is more natural for the wrestling world. I think that she would fill so many roles. She could be fit into so many things.
I think she's needed right now.
Yeah, I think she's needed right now. I agree with the Hayes Jameson. Obviously, we're both Team Hayes Jameson. And as far as a smaller woman who's convincing, they already have her, Kendall Gray. She's fantastic.
There's a few. So I mean, if you think about Io Sky, it's same size ish, but
I mean, I think Dani is smaller than all of them, but
yeah, she is.
And also, I mean, listen, I know we're not making these, and sometimes they like the David versus Goliath story, but I mean, do you really want the whole Rio conversation to be in WWE? She's so small, I can't.
She's not Rio though.
But they're both like
Dani she's small, but she's muscular. Rio, she looks like she's 12 years old.
I get it.
It's like looking at a child wrestling.
But she is.
And nothing personal against Rio. I do not know her. But there, her coming down the ring and having Mercedes Moné, well, she's small too, but bigger girls like running away. Chris Statlander, I'm like, oh, please.
Exactly. Yeah, well, Dani is definitely more of an athlete, and with the background and all of those stuff.
Yeah, she has a background, cheerleading, it's tough.
I have a feeling if we saw Dani next to Alexa Bliss would look big.
Probably, yeah.
And that's a problem for some in wrestling. And I am an avowed sizist. But I mean, it's also a fun little story. I mean, anyway, I do think that
there's a way to work with it at the right time, the right spot. But I feel they need more P Nasties right now.
And the next generation of, Polynesian dynasty, a youngin', I mean, Jacob Fatu ain't that young at whatever he is, 35, 36. He's amazing, or whatever age he is.
And I mean, there was Tamina. She's not there anymore. They need a woman.
Yeah, they can. The Tonga twins are out there, but I honestly haven't seen them work. I don't know if they're really any good, and I don't know their ages either. So in any event, WWE can sort of pick things for themselves, I'm sure, but they don't always have the right taste anyway. But yeah, your question was who do they need more, and that we both agree right now. P Nasty, more versatile, more necessary, more ready right now, and to fill the void of the 102-pounder who's believable and tough. Kendall Gray's already there. If folks, if you're not familiar with her, watch them evolve. She's been on NXT in the background role. She was in that Tavion Heights building up to Ethan Page story. She actually, when she was in grade school, high school, whatever, she was too good at wrestling that she actually had to wrestle boys, and she was like 61-0 in high school. And
that's
she had
a story by itself.
That's a story by itself. So She's really, really good. Like we mentioned a few weeks back when Undertaker told Dani Sekelsky, "Make me forget how small you are." I said, that's exactly what Kendall Gray did. She made me forget how small she was. So I'm all, I like Dani a lot. They're not limited by one, but if you had to pick one right now, or if I had to pick one right now, I would say it would be P Nasty.
And next week we will know.
Indeed.
So it'll be episode 15 at the end of the road.
Indeed. We're going to have to make a decision after that show. We're going to have to make a decision whether we're going to do that and invite the psychologist on for that show too, or if we're going to do that show and then invite her on the week after for a retrospective.
What do you think, people? Give us your ideas. And also, subscribe to the Wrestling Soup. Subscribe to their Patreon. Follow them on X and YouTube. And yeah. Press subscribe to all those damn buttons. Give them good money. Yes, and when they're live on YouTube, give them more money. So, yes, to our friend, Missionary Thomas and Joe Numbers and all the good people out there. Give them money. Give them love.
Has your Demonito arrived? Because my Demonito has not arrived.
No, I didn't receive any Demonito.
Yeah, I didn't even receive any Ieska. I mean, or Charlie, or a New Age Lily. So, I don't know. I mean,
we're not as popular as our friends for the soup. But you can follow me on X at LaVisto. Instagram, don't bother, I'm not posting much anymore. Facebook.com/LaFisto. I put matches on my LaFisto account on YouTube, LaFisto Official, that's the name. Go see tons of matches. I'm adding more. I'm hoping to put my old library there. Oh, God knows if I'll be able to fucking do it, but I'm trying. And also follow Women's Wrestling Syndicate. Subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Tons of wrestling stuff out there. Female wrestling, women's wrestling from Quebec, old and new and old school stuff, even with Joyce Grable and Penny Banner and all those wonderful ladies from the 50s and 60s. I had a few things here and there. And follow my friend here, Jeff, Dos Evil, if I have it correctly.
You did?
On X.
Yeah. Dos_evil on the X. So feel free to follow me. I will generally follow you back. And if I don't, send me a DM and say, hey, man, I followed you because I listened to the LFG show, and I will definitely follow you back. My podcasts, on the Wrestling Soup and Friendos feed, which is ancillary to the Wrestling Soup feed, yet different. I do a dose of chocolate with white chocolate, and we review Evolve, the to-be, single A WWE product. And then my own shows are called Garden of Thought, and one of those is subtitled Gospel of Thomas with my co-host, Mr. Thomas. And this week we interviewed the epic Doug Malo, who was the guy who pulled Roger Jackson off of Psycho Stu, and got some fun guests lined up and some guest co-hosts, and who knows. And then the regular Garden shows, a little bit different, but just sort of like the Joe Rogan show, but without the broness and other embrace of conspiracy, but the same kind of variety. Certainly not the celebrity or success, but the level of guests. Sometimes exactly on par, sometimes exactly on point, sometimes remarkably close, like a half a degree of separation. So if you want to support just your friends at Soup, all those shows on the Wrestling Soup Network, but check out Garden of Thought. There's something for everybody on there, I assure you.
So that's it for now, and we will see you next week for the finals of LFG.
I boiled them, fried them, put them in the stew. Boiled them, fried them, put them in the stew. Boiled them, fried them, put them in the stew. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means? Oh, no, it's not Seth Rollins. We're not going to see Seth Rollins.
I'm going to watch Peacemaker, and I'll see you next week.
Stay evil, my friends.
You can poop, 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 but you can't poop, 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 poop.